Today for Thanksgiving, we are going to do a special video. I'm going to get ready for the day and tell you guys about the things I'm grateful for. Because today is Thanksgiving, and today we need to remember the things we're grateful for. So let's get into it. First thing I'm grateful for is my family. The next thing I'm grateful for is my friends. The third thing I'm grateful for is my job. The next thing I'm grateful for is the staff that work with me and with other people that have disabilities. The next thing I am grateful for is my mobility aids, such as my white cane. The next thing I'm grateful for is Murphy. The next thing I'm grateful for is this apartment. For a few different reasons. One, this building has a great community of people. And there's someone always willing to lend a hand if you need it, or give an ear to listen, or what have you. Not only that, but it's a warm place to call home. And also, it's accessible for not only me, but people in wheelchairs. So if I wanted to have someone at my apartment that was in a wheelchair, I could, because they can access the various parts of my apartment without having to struggle. Or not have parts accessible to them, or what have you. So, like, if someone in a wheelchair needed to use the bathroom and then wash their hands, this bathroom is accessible. All I'd have to do is move a couple things so they can slide under the sink. Another thing I am grateful for is having comfortable furniture to sit on. Another thing I am grateful for is having a comfortable bed. The next thing I am grateful for is people who teach orientation and mobility, also known as O&M. Because honestly, without those people, I don't know if I'd be as independent as I am. Because without learning how to properly use a white cane and learning how to cross streets safely and stuff, I'd be stuck having people drive me everywhere I wanted to go. Because I wouldn't have a safe way to get around. Another thing I am grateful for is being able to have Thanksgiving with at least my mom and our friend Jerry. I wish I could have it with more of the people I consider family and friends, but you know what? At least I get to celebrate Thanksgiving. So that's what matters. And another thing I am grateful for is people who drive for public transportation and medical rides and stuff like that. So in this category, it's Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, drivers for medical transportation, drivers for the city bus, drivers for the mobility bus, drivers for cab companies. All those people I am grateful for. Because without them, I would be stuck only going to places I can walk to unless someone from my family drove me or unless my staff drove me. And honestly, they're not always able to take me. Another thing I am grateful for is doctors and nurses and everybody in the medical field. Whether they be ambulance or paramedics, nurses, doctors, x-ray techs, um, what have you. I am grateful for everybody in the medical field. Another thing I am grateful for is technology. Because without accessible technology, because without accessible technology, I would not be making this video for you guys today. So I am very grateful for that. Another thing I am grateful for is people that work in stores, whether it be Hy-Vee, Walmart, Sam's Club, you name it, the dollar store, you name it. I am grateful for people that work in stores, because without them, we wouldn't be able to get the items we need, whether it be for everyday life or for holidays. Another thing I am grateful for is teachers, because without them, I would not have the education I have. Another thing I am grateful for is people that work in the dorms at the blind school. Whether it was back when I was there or now, I am grateful, because without the ability to stay in the dorm at the blind school, I would not have gotten to participate in any of the things that I did, such as cheerleading, swimming, goalball, track. Because I would have had to just go to and from school, and that's it. I wouldn't have been able to stay at the blind school without dorm parents. Another thing I am grateful for is school bus drivers. Because without school bus drivers, unless I lived within walking distance of my school, there's no way I would have gotten to and from my schools. Whether it be the Triton school that I went to middle school, whether it be the blind school, etc. Another thing I am grateful for is that my state has all 4 seasons. Yes, I don't like winter. Yes, I don't like the snow or the cold. But without the 4 seasons, you wouldn't have fall. You wouldn't have spring. You wouldn't have summer. And honestly, I like fall because I like to listen to leaves crunching as I'm walking. I like spring because it's after winter and things are starting to bloom again. And that to me, even though I can't see the little buds on the trees or the little buds on the flowers unless I get close, that to me is just beautiful, how life in plants can just regenerate year after year after year. Another thing I am grateful for is Not only is my apartment easy to get around, but my building is easy to get around as well. That kind of goes along with what I said earlier about being grateful for my apartment. But another thing that I am very grateful for is people who teach in college. Because otherwise we wouldn't have teachers, we wouldn't have doctors, we wouldn't have nurses, we wouldn't have any of the higher education jobs that we do. And another thing I am grateful for is having warm clothes to wear during the winter. Not everybody has that. So I am extremely grateful that I have these things. Another thing I am grateful for is people that make things like lanyards, furniture, etc. Whether it be people that make technology, whether it be people that make furniture, whether it be people that make doors, just I'm grateful for people that make things. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have nearly as many things as we do. It would be a basic existence. Another thing I am grateful for is that where I live, we experience both day and night. Because I don't think I could live in a place where you have pretty much 24-hour daylight or pretty much 24-hour nighttime. I mean, there are people that live in those places, but I couldn't do it. For a few different reasons. First of all, my vision sucks at night. Let's be real. So, living in a place with 24-hour darkness would not work for me unless I wanted to go sighted guide everywhere I went. And honestly, I don't want to do that. I want to be as independent as I possibly can. Another thing I am grateful for is my eye mask, because it goes over my eyes and makes it darker, and that way I have an easier time falling asleep. Another thing I'm grateful for, besides just friends, is my visually impaired friends. Because they know what it's like to live with a visual disability. And if you talk to a sighted person about what it's like living with a visual disability, they're not going to know how you feel. Whereas if you talk to someone who also has a visual disability, they most likely will know how you feel. Especially when you talk to them about things that frustrate you. Because those things probably frustrate them too. Another thing I am grateful for is dentists, because they help keep our teeth strong and clean for as long as possible. Another thing I am grateful for is Action Club Theater, because let's be real, without Action Club Theater, there's no way I'd be able to be in a play. Because a lot of theater groups don't include people that have a visual impairment. They mainly focus on the able-bodied getting the parts. And I love being on stage and acting and stuff. Another thing I am super grateful for is music. I love music. If I'm sad, I can listen to music and have it make me happy again. Most times. If I'm happy, I can still listen to music. If I'm mad, I can still listen to music. No matter what emotion I am feeling, if I want to, I can listen to music. And I think this video is pretty long, so I'm going to do one more thing I am grateful for. And then we're going to wrap this video up. The last thing that I'm going to say I'm grateful for today is my independence. Not everybody has their independence. And as a visually impaired or blind person, honestly, it's a little harder to be fully independent. So, with some help learning some skills like orientation and mobility and technology and learning how to fully keep a place clean, I am able to be as independent as I can be. And I love that. I don't have to rely on people to do my dishes for me. I don't have to rely on people to sweep and mop for me. I don't have to rely on people to help me pick out my clothes. I don't have to rely on people to get me from point A to point B if it's somewhere I can get on my own. Now, along with that, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. For example, I don't have the slightest clue on how to make a turkey except you bake it. That's all I know. I don't know what temperature you put it on. I don't know how you prepare it to go in the oven. And I don't know how long you cook it. So, I asked my mom if they could make the turkey because I don't feel comfortable trying to make a turkey because they're so nuanced. I mean, some bird turkeys you have to cook longer because they're bigger. Other turkeys you cook less time because they're smaller. And not only that, but you have to keep making sure there's moisture in with the turkey. Otherwise, your turkey is going to dry out. So, I asked my mom if her or Jerry could make it because I didn't feel comfortable attempting to make a turkey. So, I asked for help with the turkey, but I pretty much made everything else. Except the pies. So, I'm going to show you what we're having for Thanksgiving. This is the gravy. I bought it in a jar and I warmed it up. And I always make sure the handles are pointed towards the back of the spoon because that way I'm not going to walk by and bump it and have the food go everywhere. The next thing I made is the mashed potatoes. And the next thing I made is the stuffing, which I'm going to move the spoon so it's how I like it. There we go. And then I bought these dinner rolls because one, it's less work for me. Two, all we have to do is warm them up a little bit and eat them. And then right here, I have butter for the rolls. And then we're going to go over here. I bought this pie. It's a pumpkin pie. It's already made. All you have to do is cut it and eat it. Same with this pie. All you have to do is cut it and eat it. And then I bought this for a little bit extra of a dessert. Now, in my freezer, I have 2 ice cube trays that have lids. The reason I have the ones with the lids is mainly for ease of use. Because when I don't use lids on my ice cube trays, I tend to spill it all over the floor as I'm walking from my sink to my fridge. And then, if you spill, you have to clean it up so you don't slip. And who wants to put all that extra work in just to have some ice? Not me. I'd rather just throw a lid on it, put it in the freezer, and call it good. So, with that last note, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. And I also hope you get to spend Thanksgiving with someone you care about. Take care, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell and click all. That way you'll be alerted every time I upload a video. Bye.